When you think of a city, you probably picture tall buildings, busy streets, and lots of people. But while some cities grow, others are left behind. Here are the top 23 largest abandoned cities in America. Number 1. Bodie, California. Once a booming gold mining town, Bodie grew from a small camp into a Wild West settlement. It was founded in 1859 after gold was discovered in the hills near Mono Lake. At its peak in 1880, it had over 10,000 miners, outlaws, and fortune seekers living there. They built more than 2,000 buildings, 65 saloons, and even a red light district. But devastating fires in 1892 and 1932 burned 90% of its structures to ash. By 1942, mining stopped as dynamite and other resources went to the war and the last residents left. Today, Bodie is a preserved ghost town with empty streets and untouched interiors. Over 100 buildings still stand, filled with dusty belongings left behind. Visitors say it feels like the residents just vanished overnight. Number 2. Centralia, Pennsylvania. This town is literally burning from below. In 1962, a coal mine fire ignited accidentally and has been burning ever since. Statewide attention to the fire began in 1981 when a 12-year-old boy fell into a sinkhole 4 feet wide and 150 feet deep that suddenly opened beneath his feet in a backyard. The flames and toxic gases forced over 1,000 residents to flee by the 1980s. Today, only 5 stubborn locals remain despite evacuation orders. Smoke still seeps from cracks in the roads and fields, and the air reeks of sulfur. Graffiti-covered Route 61, once dubbed the Road to Nowhere, was buried in 2020. This eerie town even inspired the setting of the horror movie Silent Hill. Number 3. Kennecott, Alaska. Kennecott is a remote copper mining town lost in the Alaskan wilderness. In the early 1900s, it produced over $200 million worth of copper. By 1925, a geologist predicted the high-grade ore was nearly gone. When the mines dried up in 1938, 500 workers and their families fled overnight, leaving tools, clothes, and half-eaten meals. Decades of snow and ice have left buildings rusted and collapsing. A giant 14-story tall red mill still stands on the mountainside. Kennecott is now a National Historic Landmark District, and they are working to stabilize and rehabilitate the structures. Visitors must take a helicopter or endure a dangerous hike in grizzly territory to reach it. Number 4. St. Elmo, Colorado. St. Elmo is one of Colorado's best preserved ghost towns, founded in 1880. Over 2,000 gold and silver miners once lived there, but now only a few caretakers stay year-round. It had a telegraph office, stores, 5 hotels, saloons, a school, and even their own newspaper. But as the mining industry declined in the early 1920s and railroad service ended in 1922, the town slowly began to fade away. Postal service was discontinued in 1952, and most residents left. Today, visitors can explore wooden cabins, some still stocked with dusty furniture and antiques. In winter, snow covers the valley, and only creaky porches break the silence. Number 5. Glenrio, Texas and New Mexico. Glenrio is a Route 66 town split between 2 states. It was founded in 1903 as a railroad stop known as Rock Island, later renamed to Glenrio in 1908. It boomed with gas stations, diners and motels in the 1940s. But when Interstate 40 bypassed it in the 1970s, businesses shut down. Today, its crumbling diner and faded signs are photogenic ruins. The first Last Motel in Texas still stands, rotting in the desert sun. Coyotes and tumbleweeds are now the only regular visitors. A cannabis dispensary was opened on the New Mexico side in 2022 and is now the town's sole active business. Number 6. North Brother Island, New York. North Brother Island is an abandoned island in New York City's East River. Built in 1885, it served as a quarantine hospital that treated smallpox, typhoid, and even housed Typhoid Mary, America's first known asymptomatic superspreader. In 1904, the General Slocum ship caught fire here and over 1,000 people drowned. The hospital later treated tuberculosis, then became a drug rehab center before shutting down in the 1960s. Now, birds have claimed the abandoned structures and vines cover the ruins. Public access is banned, but some urban explorers still sneak in. The city once dreamed of turning it into a park until they saw the mess. The best place to see it is from Barreto Point Park, but make sure to bring binoculars. Number 7. Salton City, California. This town was planned as a grand resort community. It was developed in the 1960s with miles of roads, water, sewer, power, and 12,000 lots for 40,000 residents. The sea turned toxic, evaporating into dust that poisoned the air and lungs. By the 1970s, abandoned hotels and yacht clubs littered the cracked shoreline. Faded signs and half-empty streets give it a ghost town feel, attracting photographers and explorers. Nearly 81% of the residential lots remain undeveloped. Nearby communities like Bombay Beach share a similar fate. However, some people come here looking to buy cheap land. Number 8. Cahaba, Alabama. Alabama's first state capital is now a ghost town. It was the capital from 1820 to 1825, located where the Alabama and Cahaba rivers meet. But the town had a major issue. It suffered from regular seasonal flooding. That's why in 1826, the capital moved to Tuscaloosa, taking politicians, businesses, and hope. Without government and business, Cahaba quickly declined, and in 1865, a flood destroyed the town and lost its residents. Today, it's a preserved site called Old Cahaba Archaeological Park, with efforts to restore its historic buildings. Number 9. King Island, Alaska. King Island is a remote, rocky island in the Bering Sea, west of Alaska. For centuries, Inupiat people, who called themselves the people of the sea, lived here in homes built on stilts clinging to cliffs. They hunted walrus, fished, and carved ivory to survive the harsh winters. A small Catholic church and school were added in the 1900s. In the 1950s, families were forced to leave, some say because of safety, and others blame government pressure. The village has been empty ever since, with old homes still clinging to the cliffs, slowly falling apart. Number 10. Gary, Indiana. Gary was founded in 1906 by US Steel as a model industrial city. At its peak, it had 200,000 residents, fueled by booming steel mills and a diverse population. But by the 1970s, automation and outsourcing shut down factories. Many neighborhoods emptied, with boarded-up schools and churches. The old City Methodist Church now stands as a crumbling Gothic landmark. Urban explorers call Gary a symbol of Rust Belt decline. Still, some residents are working to bring the city back. Number 11. Rhyolite, Nevada. A gold rush town that popped up in the early 1900s, Rhyolite grew rapidly and just as quickly declined. In 1904, prospectors discovered gold-filled quartz called Bullfrog Rock, sparking a gold rush. The town boomed overnight with 50 saloons, electric lights, an opera house, and a 3-story marble bank. Charles M. Schwab invested millions building a railroad and a large ore mill. By 1907, Rhyolite had electric lights, water mains, telephones, newspapers, a hospital, a school, an opera house, and a stock exchange. Estimates put its peak population between 3,500 and 5,000 residents. But the 1906 San Francisco earthquake and the financial panic of 1907 drained funds, and the mines dried up. By 1911, the mine closed and the town was nearly abandoned, with most buildings falling apart or being salvaged. Shares dropped from $23 to just 4 cents, and by 1916, the town's lights went out for good. Yet quirky relics like the Bottle House and the old railway depot remain. Hollywood has filmed among the ruins, including movies like The Island and Six String Samurai. Number 12. Calico, California. Founded in 1881, Calico was once a booming silver mining town, now restored as a county park. At its peak, it was home to 500 mines, 1,200 residents, saloons, brothels, and a Chinatown. The Silver King mine made Calico one of California's top silver producers. But the 1890 silver crash and the 1907 collapse of borax mining left the town empty. Walter Knott purchased Calico in the 1950s and restored most buildings to their 1880s look. Giant letters spelling Calico rise on the mountains behind the town. Number 13. Jerome, Arizona. Jerome was once known as the wickedest town in the West. It was a booming copper mining town with 10,000 miners, gamblers, and madams crammed into its maze of saloons and brothels. The United Verde mine made Jerome one of the richest mining districts in the nation, spitting out $1 billion in copper and funding mansions and a thriving red light district. But by 1953, the ore ran out and the mines closed. Fights over jobs made the news, and the town's population quickly fell to just 50 people. In the 1960s, artists and entrepreneurs saved it from complete abandonment, trading pickaxes for paintbrushes. Today, it's full of art galleries, coffee houses, and museums. Number 14. Fort Jefferson, Florida. Fort Jefferson is a massive, unfinished coastal fortress and the largest brick masonry structure in the Americas. Construction began in 1846 and it covers 16 acres, built with over 16 million bricks. Workers included enslaved people and Irish immigrants. The fort was built to protect a strategic deepwater anchorage in North America. During the Civil War, it served as a military outpost and a prison. After the war, it was used as a coaling station and quarantine facility. Unfinished due to hurricanes, yellow fever, and sinking walls, it was abandoned by the Army in 1874. In 1935, President Roosevelt designated the area as a national monument. Number 15. Goldfield, Nevada. Once Nevada's largest city during the gold rush, Goldfield boomed with wealth after a prospector struck an $86 million gold vein in 1902. By 1906, the town had grown to 20,000 residents, with saloons and luxurious hotels. But after mines flooded in the 1920s, the population plummeted to under 300 and Goldfield became a ghost town. A devastating fire in 1923 destroyed many buildings, but historic structures like the Goldfield Hotel and the 1907 courthouse survived. Today, paranormal hunters roam the abandoned mines and artists bring new life to this ghost city. Number 16. Fayette, Michigan. Fayette was a historic iron smelting town on Lake Michigan. Built in the late 1860s by Fayette Brown of the Jackson Iron Company, the town thrived on abundant natural resources. The harbor transported ore and supplies, while limestone cliffs and nearby forests provided materials and fuel. Between 1867 and 1891, nearly 230,000 tons of pig iron were produced for Great Lakes steel mills. The town was lively with bands, sports teams, and even a horse track. After smelting operations ended, most families left and Fayette became a resort and fishing village. Number 17. Shaniko, Oregon. Shaniko, once known as the wool capital of the world, thrived in the late 1800s and early 1900s as a transportation and agricultural hub. It became a key center for wool and wheat production, shipping 4 million pounds of wool annually via the Columbia Southern Railway. But in 1911, a new railroad route diverted traffic, and by the 1930s, passenger service stopped. The town's decline continued, and today, only about 30 residents remain who operate businesses seasonally. Despite its sparse population, Shaniko preserves its rich history. Number 18. Virginia City and Nevada City, Montana. Virginia City boomed in 1863 after gold was found in Alder Gulch. It became Montana's capital in 1865 and was known for wild lawlessness. Vigilantes formed a committee and hanged 15 outlaws in just 2 months. As gold ran out, the town faded and was nearly abandoned by the 1940s. Nevada City, just a mile away, also thrived during the gold rush. Most of its buildings were lost to mining, but were rebuilt in the 1950s as a museum town. Today, both towns are preserved with old saloons and wooden sidewalks. You can ride a steam train between them and explore 1800s life. Number 19. Bannack, Montana. Founded in 1862 during a gold rush, Bannack became Montana's first territorial capital. The discovery of gold attracted thousands, and at its peak, the town served as the capital and boasted a population of around 10,000. The town's decline began as gold became harder to find, and by the 1870s, its population shrank dramatically. By the 1940s, Bannack was deserted. Today, it has 60 well-preserved buildings lining its streets. Number 20. Chloride, Arizona. Founded in 1863 after silver was discovered, Chloride became a busy mining camp. Named after the mineral silver chloride, the town once had up to 5,000 residents and even served as the county seat. The arrival of the Arizona and Utah Railway in 1899 further boosted its growth. But as silver ran out and a 1920s fire nearly destroyed the town, its fortunes declined. Today, only 229 people live here, with the old post office and crumbling ruins as reminders of its past. The post office, established in 1893, is still operational, making it the longest-running post office in the state. Number 21. Picher, Oklahoma. Picher was once the heart of America's lead and zinc mining. At its peak in 1926, over 14,000 people called it home. But decades of mining left toxic waste, unstable ground, and poisoned water. Health risks from lead poisoning ravaged the community, with 34% of the children diagnosed with lead poisoning by 1994. The government stepped in with a mandatory evacuation, buying out homes and disincorporating the town by 2009. A devastating tornado in 2008 further sealed Picher's fate, flattening 150 homes and accelerating its decline. Today, only a few crumbling buildings, abandoned schools, a dilapidated gorilla mascot statue, and collapsed mine shafts remain. Number 22. Helltown, Ohio. This quiet village was founded in 1806 and became Summit County's oldest settlement. In 1974, the government seized the land to create Cuyahoga Valley National Park, forcing residents to leave. What was left were many abandoned homes boarded up with no trespassing signs. Rumors of ghosts, a satanic church with upside-down crosses, and mutant creatures fueled the town's haunted reputation. The truth? A chemical dump caused health issues, and the church's upside-down crosses were just design quirks. In 2016, all abandoned buildings were torn down, and today only the Boston Cemetery remains. Number 23. Jamestown, Virginia. Jamestown was the first permanent English colony in America, founded in 1607. 104 men came here dreaming of gold, but found swamps, disease, and a 700-year drought. By 1610, only 60 people survived the starving time, with some resorting to eating rats, shoe leather, and even other humans. Archaeologists found a 14-year-old girl's skull with cut marks, likely from cannibalism. John Smith, a leader who helped keep the Jamestown colony alive, was captured by Powhatan warriors in 1607, and according to his story, Pocahontas saved him from being killed. John Rolfe's tobacco crops made the colony rich, but it depended on enslaved people. In 1619, ships brought kidnapped Africans and 90 English women that were sold for tobacco. The town burned during Bacon's Rebellion in 1676, and today only ruins are left. Let us know if you want to see more content like this. Check out our other videos shown on screen right now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.